Have you ever wondered how every living thing, from a tiny bacterium to a human, carries instructions to grow, look, and function? Those instructions are written in a molecule called DNA, short for deoxyribonucleic acid. In this video, we'll explore what DNA is, how it's structured, how it works, and why it matters to you. DNA is a very long chemical molecule that stores the genetic instructions for building and operating an organism. It is found in the nucleus of almost every cell and acts like an instruction manual telling cells which proteins to make and when. These instructions determine traits such as eye color, height, and many aspects of how your body functions. DNA is a shape is famously called double helix. Imagine a twisted ladder. The sides of the ladder are made up of sugar, that is deoxyribose, and phosphate molecules. The rungs are paired nitrogen bases. There are four bases: adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. Adenine always pairs with thymine, and cytosine always pairs with guanine. These base pair rule are critical because they allow DNA to be copied accurately. Genes. Segments of DNA called genes act like individual instructions inside the bigger manual. Each gene contains a recipe for a specific protein. Proteins do the actual work in cells, building structures, carrying messages, catalyzing reactions. So, when a gene is read and its protein is made, that is how DNA influences traits and cell behavior. How DNA works. DNA controls cell by directing protein synthesis in two main steps. First is transcription. A segment of DNA is copied into messenger RNA, that is mRNA, inside the nucleus. Then translation happens in the ribosome, where the mRNA code is read and assembled into protein. This DNA RNA protein flow is often called the central dogma of molecular biology, and it's how genes are turned into functioning molecules. When organisms reproduce, DNA is passed on to offsprings. In sexually reproducing organisms like humans, half of your DNA comes from your mother and half from your father. The combination of parental gene explains why you share features with both parents but are still unique. Some genes are dominant and show up in the child even if only one parent passes them. Others are recessive and appears only when both parents contribute the same version. Why study DNA? Studying DNA allows us to identify genes that cause disease and create targeted therapies like gene therapy. It helps develop better crops that resist pest or drought, improving food security. Modern biotechnology, from vaccines to diagnostic tests, relies heavily on our knowledge of DNA. In short, DNA research underpins major advances in health, agriculture, and industry. Ethics and concerns. With great power comes great responsibility. Genetic information raises ethical questions. Who owns your genetic data and how should it be shared? Technologies like CRISPR enable gene editing, which has incredible potential but also controversial implications. For example, the idea of designer babies is important that science advances with careful ethical oversight and public discussion. To sum up, DNA is not just a molecule, it's an instruction manual carried in every cell, telling organisms how to build and run themselves. Understanding DNA has changed medicine, agriculture, and our view of life. If you found this useful, like and subscribe and drop any questions in the comments.